What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Educated Barfly. My name is Leandro DiMonriva, and today we're going to be making Bryan Tetorakis' Grapefruit Cordial. Bryan Tetorakis is the general manager of Cloves and the Varnish in downtown Los Angeles. As a lot of you guys know, I am the bar manager at Cloves French Dip, and so he is my boss. He came to us relatively recently from Polite Provisions in San Diego, which is an award-winning bar program. They've won the Spirited Award for Best Bar Program before. They have an awesome bar program. If you're in San Diego, you should go check them out. And Bryan, everything that I have ever tasted that Bryan has given me to taste, like his own cocktails, have been brilliant. All the syrups and cordials that he makes are really great. He is a very talented bartender. You can find him on Instagram at YesChefTender if you want to check him out. And I think you should because he's awesome. Anyway, he made this brilliant stirred Paloma that I wanted to share with you. But to be able to do that, we need to make a cordial, and that's in two parts. Two disclaimers before we start. First of all, I'm kind of having a bad hair day, so I'm going to fiddle with it. Some of you guys have been like, oh, I don't like it when you touch your hair in the video. Well, you know what? I'm making stuff in my own house, so I can touch my hair if I want to. Do I touch my hair at the bar? I don't really. I also use gloves at the bar, too, just so you know. And then secondly, I'm using a new Staggerly apron. This one was designed for the Bon Voyage bar in Tiki Bar in San Francisco, made by Alfred Ramos. And I'm mentioning this because it has genuine leather straps and it's brand new. So there is going to be a little you're going to hear I actually just heard it just now. The mic is going to pick up on that little squeaking sound. That squeaking sound is the genuine leather straps, and they're brand new. They're not broken in. I apologize ahead of time. I know it irritates some of you guys. Sorry, but it is a dope apron, so I had to wear it. I just couldn't. I was like, should I wear it? Should I not? I had to wear it. It's awesome. Staggerly, Alfred Ramos and Staggerly, they do a great job, and you should check them out at staggerlygoods.com. Now, after that, let's get into this. The reason why this is a home bar advanced episode is because we are going to be making a tincture, and I thought this would be a really good reason to sort of talk about tinctures and bitters and how they differ and how they are the same. The thing is that tinctures and bitters are both made with like high proof spirits or neutral grain spirits that have been macerated with different spices, herbs to flavor them. And they both are actually used as either a modifying ingredient where you're actually modifying the flavor profile, or your seasoning ingredient where you're just adding a tiny bit of flavor into the other flavors for a cocktail to create a certain, I guess we would call it a master flavor, right? Where you're sort of using it as one thread in a larger flavor profile, or actually adding a specific flavor. Now, what makes this different than bitters is that bitters contain bittering herbs and spices. So in bitters, you will find things like orris root, cinchona bark, angostura bark. These are bittering elements, whereas tinctures don't actually contain those bittering elements. If they did, they would then be bitters. So this cordial that Bryan did, he made a tincture which has a Persian spice profile, and we're going to make that first. And then we're going to add that into our larger cordial. So let's get started because it's kind of a bit of a process. As you can see, I pre-portioned everything except for the spices out. And I also have the tincture, which you have to sit for 24 hours. So I made this 24 hours ago, and it's been sitting, so you can see what because then we're gonna use this and we're gonna actually make the thing. So I'm gonna set this aside for now. We have a new bottle, and we have our ingredients. Let's just set this. Maybe I'll set it here. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take, I have black peppercorns. Now you want to use cracked pepper, and I only have the whole peppercorns, so I'm going to just use my mortar and pestle here to crack them. So you're going to use 1 tablespoon of peppercorns, or if you want to get the pre-cracked peppercorns, that's fine. I just don't have them today. So 1 tablespoon, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to crack them with the pistol. It's going to take me a little second, so I don't know. Maybe Marius can cut away from it. I'm going to set this aside, and then now that they're nice and cracked, we're just going to scoop them up into our tablespoon, and we're just going to, I don't have a funnel. You should probably be using a funnel, but since I don't have a funnel, I just like put my hands here and I just get it all in the bottle here. All right, 1 tablespoon of cracked peppercorn. There we go. Set this aside since we don't need it anymore. Put that there. Brine this back in. And put the lid back on. All right, then we're going to use 1 tablespoon. Yesterday I was making a mess of this. I might make a mess of this, guys. And if you make a mess, it's fine. You can just clean it up later. So 1 tablespoon of a bit more. That's about right. 1 tablespoon of ground cumin. Okay. And then 1 tablespoon of whole coriander seeds. Then we're going to do 3/4 of a tablespoon. So 3/4 of a tablespoon actually equates to 2 1/4 teaspoons. Well, see, for some odd reason, I always make a mess with the turmeric. I don't know why. Always get the turmeric all over myself and all over the place. It's very irritating. Because turmeric is the one thing that stains. Cool. I'm going to grab this, get the turmeric off my hands. Cool. Then we're going to do, oh, not done. Need that 1/4. Sorry, I forgot the 1/4. Get in there, 1/4. Then we're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. And then we're using Everclear. Now here's the thing. Everclear is neutral grain spirits. This particular one's 120, and I believe they make it in 151 as well. You can also use overproof vodka, but I will say this, not all vodka has a clean flavor profile, so you want to make sure that if there is flavor inside that vodka, it goes with the ingredients that you're using here. I'm not sure that I can think of any vodkas that are going to really stand up to this, but I like to use neutral grain spirits because then what we're doing is just we're adding alcohol, making the tincture, and it is just a clean flavor of just ethanol, basically. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do 3 ounces and try not to spill it everywhere. I did a pretty good job. 3 ounces. Of your neutral grain spirit or overproof vodka. And then we're just going to shake it. And there you have it. We're going to let that sit for 24 hours. There we go. I just want to make sure all the turmeric is off there so it doesn't stain my counter. All right, now here we go. The 24-hour version is here. So what we're going to do is we are going to strain this through a fine strainer. I think I'm going to go to the trash can just because it has turmeric and turmeric stains everything. So give me 10 seconds. We're going to set this aside. We're actually going to put this to wash. And there we have our Advieh tincture. There. Now, I want to tell you what Advieh is. I looked it up. I forgot. So look in the show notes, and that you will have all that information, expanded information. Now we're going to make the cordial itself. So what I've done here is taken 310 grams of sugar, and I've taken the, you can either do peels or you can do the zest of grapefruit, and then we made like an oleosaccharum. If you don't know what an oleosaccharum is, just look above on that side, not that side. Look above at the link, and it'll bring you to our oleosaccharum episode where you can check out what exactly oleosaccharum is. I pre-portioned everything else out so that we could make this, so that we could just do this easily, and it's not going to take a ton of time because it's already becoming a long video, but you guys are going to appreciate it. Cool. So what we're going to do is we've made our oleosaccharum. We let it sit for 24 hours. That's how long you want to let it sit. If you are in a hurry, you can let it sit for an hour to 4 hours if you're in a big hurry. If you're like in a massive hurry, I guess an hour will do it. But sitting for 24 hours is preferable. Also, I put a little bit more sugar in here because this is all the sugar that we're going to need to make this cordial. So I put all the sugar in here that is necessary for the cordial. Okay, cool. Then what we do is we take 500 grams. We have done this all by weight. You are going to need a kitchen scale to get it. So we're doing 500 grams of fresh, unfiltered grapefruit juice, and we're just going to add that in. And then we're doing 120 grams of unfiltered lime juice, and we're going to add that in. And then we're going to stir this. And you want to make sure that you stir it until you think it is pretty much fully dissolved the sugar. The sugar has the reason why we made the oleosaccharum is because the sugar has this, the sugar has the peel, right? And the sugar is basically pulling all of the grapefruit oils, the essential oils out of the peel. And so it's going to give it this very, what I like to call three-dimensional grapefruit flavor. And then we're adding a little bit more acid from the lime. And also then what we're going to do is take 1.5 ounces of our Advieh, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, tincture. And we're going to add that in. As you can see, it kind of turns it like a little yellow. There we go. And then, because you guys are so fond of me forgetting stuff, I'm going to reach down here and get a bowl and a strainer so that we can double strain our cordial. And just to make it so that I've forgotten even more stuff, I'm going to go get the last ingredient that I need. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, we need citric acid. So then we are going to double strain the peels and zest out. Sorry, I did that behind the bottle, but we're double strain it all out so you get all the peels and zest out. Put this aside. And then we're just going to add one teaspoon of citric acid. Now, citric acid is going to give it that nice bright tart flavor without adding any more citrus juice to it. So it's like basically cutting the sugar by upping the tart in the syrup. Then I'm just going to rinse a jar since we don't want to waste. And I am going to do a little, I'm just going to pour our cordial. Let's taste it. I mean, it's bright and citrusy. The citric acid really cuts the sugar. It's really nice and tart. And then you get that undertone of turmeric and all of the spices. So this is going to add a really nice flavor profile to the paloma that we're going to make with it next. So I will see you guys on the next video.